This episode was made possible thanks to generous supporters on Patreon. Good day, guitar fellows, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Zerner's Guitar Lab. Spicing up your playing is just like spicing up your meal. First you need a good foundation, and when it's ready and digestible in this form, then you can embellish it using different methodics. In guitar playing, the spicing up process happens by using different articulations and ornaments. But since the topic is quite wide, I decided to split the video into two parts, and in this first video I will deal with the articulations, so let's get started. Articulations are an integral part of your guitar playing, and I see that many beginner and intermediate guitar players tend to ignore them, but this usually happens because they haven't developed the ear to distinguish the differences between these articulations. This is also the reason why many guitar players struggle when they play their favorite tracks by their favorite bands, of course, and usually they learn them using tabs, and tabs most of the time have wrong fingerings, and being unable to distinguish these articulations makes close to impossible to hear the fingering. There are many ways that you can approach a certain note, and every one of them gives a different flavor to the note. For example, if we take this note D and we approach it, for example, just by picking it, we get a specific type of sounding: sharp, attack, impact. For example, if we pluck it by finger, we get a different type of sound, or if we just hammer on the note, we get a third type of sound. We can also use different techniques to approach the note, like bends, slides, and things like that. Or bigger, or pre-bends, or slides. A small slide like the jazz players do, or longer slides, or even longer, or downward slides like Steve Vai or Joe Satriani. We can approach the notes using the whammy bar, or the opposite way. We can also do things like pinch harmonics. All of these methods produce a different type of attack of the note, so this is why you need to be very conscious about how to use all of them in any given situation. For example, if we take the notes B, C and D on the third string, and we pick them, we get this very distinctive and harsh attack and impact. This scratching of the pick that you can hear, which gives a very specific type of attack. If we pick the same notes by using upstroke, we get the same type of attack, but it's a little bit softer. If we pluck the same notes by finger, we still have the impact, but we don't have the scratching effect. So it's a different color already. And if we play these notes legato, we get this very fluid, water-like sounding. It's important to put a special emphasis on the difference between down picking and up picking, because they really make different sounds, and the incorrect usage of the pick strokes may totally ruin your riffs. I've seen many people playing songs by Metallica, for example, and they play riffs like this one by using alternate picking, but actually this can never sound right when you use alternate picking, because this is what happens. It doesn't have the same impact that you can hear when you listen to Metallica. What actually happens is, because James Hetfield has a very prominent down picking technique, and if you play the same riff using just down strokes, it sounds much tighter. And now it's much closer to the original. And this is just one example of how important it is to make a proper distinction between down and up picking and to use them properly. Sometimes though, there's a cheat trick when it comes to riff playing. And a very good example of that is Painkiller by Judas Priest. This creates the illusion that it's all played by using downstrokes, but what actually happens is that there are small sequences of downstrokes and upstrokes which follow the specific melody of the riff, because it's divided into 4 groups of 3 notes and at the end 2 groups of 2 notes. And actually this is how it is slowly. And when it's played fast, it's easier for the hand. The emphasized note on the 5th string is always played by a downstroke, and this creates the illusion that the whole riff is played by downstrokes. Actually, if you play this riff only using downstrokes, it sounds too tight for this song. It sounds a little bit more like an annihilator song. But if we play with the correct picking, it already sounds right. A good example of engaging fingerstyle playing on the electric guitar is of course Mark Knopfler, and we all know this solo. And of course, if you try to play it by using a pick, it immediately gets this harsh sound which already ruins the song. And you just don't play this song like that. A good illustration of how to combine fingerstyle and picking can be found in Steve Lukather's playing. For example, the track Caught in a Balance. It's a very good way to make your playing a little bit more colorful by using different type of techniques. So I really strongly recommend you to engage all of these and just experiment with them and to find your sound by using combinations of them. This is how you will develop individuality in your music. And here are 2 bonus articulations that I'm going to share with you. The first one is something that you can hear very often in Steve Vai playing or Joe Satriani, and it's something that is called rake. It's actually a sweep through the strings, but they are muted, and this is how you get this percussive scratching sound. And this serves as an introduction to the note that you want to play. And it adds a little bit of drama, especially if you add a good wide expressive vibrato. The second one is the pinch harmonic. This is actually a flageolet which is produced by the picking hand. The mechanism of that is your pick is striking the string, and then the tissue of the side of the thumb is just producing the harmonic by touching the string. A very good example of guitar playing with a lot of pinch harmonics is, of course, the late Dimebag Darrell, the guitar player of Pantera.
Exercise!
Today's exercise for you is to pick up a simple melody like Happy Birthday, for example, and to try these articulations on every single note so you can develop a feeling how they sound within a context and how they could improve your playing. Let me know in the comments below which are your favorite articulations and why. So that's everything for today's episode. I hope you guys find it useful. Thanks for watching, and if you like my work, consider supporting me on Patreon up here or on the links down in the description. Also, click like, subscribe to my channel, click that bell button to get informed when I upload a new video. See you next time, and remember, practice makes perfect.